You are now listening to the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
What happens when the brain trust of Antenna Releasing and Deaf Crocodile join forces to create a space catering to the most ardent physical media-focused cinephiles? Adventures in Analog, that's what, a brand new physical media fulfillment center, video storefront, and microcinema located in Lee Summit, Missouri, just outside of Kansas City in the Kansas City metro area. The back room of the facilities will consist of a fulfillment center for all Deaf Crocodile and Antenna Releasing titles and merchandise. The front will consist of a physical media lover's dream. Discs galore, merchandise, film ephemera, and a microcinema where we'll be showing some of the coolest titles from Antenna Releasing, Deaf Crocodile, TerraVision, New Wave Video, and more. It's your one-stop shop for celebrating your love of film with folks who get it. If you are looking to help support, the time for that is now. We are currently running a Kickstarter campaign until the end of August to raise startup costs to make the space amazing. We have perks on our campaign that you can choose from that will be able to get you one-of-a-kind items like autographed original pieces of art, your name emblazoned on a wall, your ability to name a chair in the microcinema, and so much more. Check out the perks today and donate if you're able.
Welcome back to Wild Side, the official Mondo Macabro podcast. As always, this is Ryan Verrill, joined with Dr. Will Dodson and Jared Honor. Welcome, everyone.
Hello. Hi, Ryan. nice to see you again, Ryan.
Just a little joke. This is Chris Haskell, and I am overjoyed at the introduction of Will Dodson to the Mondo Macabro family. So, Will, hello.
Thank you. I'm in my Garth Knight phase, my evil twin from Knight Rider. I've come in to usurp Ryan's position, but as a longtime fan of Mondo Macabro, I'm really happy to join in the conversations and be a part of this podcast moving forward. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Will. And I think now is the time, the golden era for the Mondo Macabro podcast can truly begin now that Ryan is out of the way. He was obviously holding us back from achieving the greatness that we were destined to achieve. So let's go get it, guys. Let's get out there and make the best damn podcast we can. In the memory of Ryan, because Ryan is dead. He's not really dead. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that.
This got dark fast.
I don't know why I took it there, but
it might be the wrong time to say. Might be the wrong time to say that Ryan might be coming back here from time to time, depending on his ability.
Now he won't. He will not.
But no longer. Now it's just Will and I. But Jared, I want to say right out of the gate, you said something in one of the Discord servers where you engage with a lot of miscreants that really excites me, which is that this month we're here to celebrate the August announcements, and we're going to talk a lot about that today. But this month, the percentage of people that bought the bundles was the highest it's ever been, or at least was something you were really proud of this month. Is that right?
It's something like that. Like I think, like I said there, I haven't done the math, but just as far as the amount of people buying the bundle versus picking, doing it piecemeal, just buying one or two of the others, extraordinarily high amount of people going for all three all at once. So I really like to see that, and I sort of expected that a little bit because there isn't like one title that's necessarily much bigger than the others. So like when we did Cafe Flesh, like I had tons and tons of people just buying Cafe Flesh, or Dr. Caligari before that. So there's not really anything like that. So I figured it would be a very sort of concentrated, like our audience. This is something that's, movies that are going to appeal to, all three are going to appeal to our core audience. And that seems to be the case.
Well, I can't wait to get into that because absolutely. But before we do, Will, how's it going? You're involved in 100 different things. How you been?
Been well. Been really busy working on several different audio commentaries, visual essays. a project that hopefully soon we'll be able to talk about that might be Mondo Macabro related. Maybe in a podcast or two we'll have some news on that. So it's been a really, if we're going to be stuck in a heat wave, this was a good summer for it because I've been stuck inside quite a bit.
Yeah,
On the off chance that people don't know you by name, do you want to give a little background outside of being an esteemed doctor of film history, kind of what you do?
Sure. Yeah. I've been involved in cult and exploitation cinema for 20 some years now, as a teacher and a writer. My most recent book project is called American Twilight, the Cinema of Toby Hooper, which came out a few years ago on University of Texas Press, appropriately enough. And I've had a lot of work going in the last 3 or 4 years producing visual essays, featurettes, and audio commentaries, as I said, for various boutique labels. And I'm a regular guest on the Reconnected show with the aforementioned Ryan Verrill. So that's what I do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Will, I know, has is sort of old school Mondo fan. You've been buying from me for a long time. Like, I recognized your name when you first started going on to Ryan's show. I was like, wait, that sounds familiar. And you've been buying pretty much every limited edition we've been doing for years and years and years. Am I wrong about that, or that's what my memory is telling me anyway?
Thank you for letting my daughter know where her college fund has gone. But yes, it is true. I've been a Mondo fan since way back in the DVD only days, and have very close to a complete collection. So regard that.
Are there
as
any big prizes you're missing from the Mondo collection that you can think of offhand?
Most of the ones I'm missing are actually fairly recent. Like I need to get that upgrade of Devil's Nightmare, Blood Rose. A lot of the stuff that I'm missing is so out of print at this point that I don't even remember all the titles. But
well, those two are still in print.
Yeah,
those two are still available on our website. They're limited edition, unfortunately.
But it's pretty close. I haven't actually kept a close track, but that'll be the next time I have insomnia. I'll go through my my collection and see exactly what's missing and how much it costs on eBay.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about this is the secondhand market for these things can be kind of stupid sometimes.
I will say the most recent Mondo Macabro title I inflicted upon a college class was Lady Terminator.
Oh,
and it was a huge hit. People love it.
Dan, the kids are all right. The kids,
exactly.
There's hope for the future.
We made some comments on that one.
I love though. That's the cool thing about I know this is more about Mondo Macabro, but separately we can get into this on a different show. But that's the thing I like about what you do, though, is the curriculum you have for your film classes is it's like the wilder side of cinema. Like, it's very closely aligned with the mission of Mondo Macabro.
Absolutely. I can't imagine anything more boring than teaching students, how to understand the aesthetic choices of filmmakers by showing, Intolerance by D.W. Griffith or something for the millionth time. So it is really nice to have. And I know this is kind of a tangent already before we get into it, but just the fact that so many great boutique labels who are focused on adventurous cinema and obscure cinema means that I'm able to not only teach students about film as an art form, but I'm also able to include so many voices that for the entirety of film history have been, on the margins at best. And so this is the catalogs like Mondo Macabros are so much. It's so much more important to film history than just the individual releases. It's a archive of film that would have been lost otherwise. Because
it seems like right now there's a. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No.
That there's sort of like the pantheon of like great filmmakers has expanded a lot in this. I mean, there's a lot of things wrong, I think, with the contemporary era, but like it's really neat to see sort of letterboxed culture and boutique label culture, and a lot of these things where you see people discussing. Andrzej Żuławski, for example, is now sort of is in the conversations of sort of the great heralded European filmmakers. And that wouldn't have been the case even a decade ago, really, So
Exactly.
It's just fun to see, and it's fun to see more Latin American and African, films being discussed and talked about. I don't know. It's an interesting moment that I think we have right now. And there's a lot of choices out there.
That might be the perfect segue actually into the first title that I wanted to talk about today, because there was a guy working in Spain in the 70s who is just such a cool filmmaker. He was an animator. He was doing just some badass stuff, but people don't know his name. It's not a household name. And it's Francisco Macian, right? And unfortunately, he died pretty shortly after the movie came out that we're going to talk about today. But it's Memoria.
Yeah, very. The first, sort of the biggest title of the three that we're releasing right now. It seems like. Spanish sort of psychedelic, surrealistic sci-fi thing. Very unusual. There aren't a lot of Spanish sci-fi movies. And this is not sci-fi in the sort of space opera sense. In fact, it's maybe more in line with sort of a mad scientist sort of genre.
I love the letterbox synopsis. In the year 2000, in a world where nations exercise strict control over their populations, Dr. Ulap is researching a way to transfer human memories to another brain. I love this concept.
Yeah. And it's a very, very strange execution of that concept too. And what's great is Dr. Ulap is played by Fernando Sancho. And any fan of Spanish genre cinema or Italian genre cinema is probably familiar with Fernando Sancho, even if you don't know the name. He's basically a Mexican bandit in every other spaghetti Western made in the 1960s through the 1970s. And in this movie, he wears he doesn't wear a mustache. He wears a blonde wig. And at one point, he sets that blonde wig on fire. And it's like really burning on his head. It's quite a cinematic image. It's really interesting.
And this is also infused with a animation process that Macian created himself, right? It's called Techno Fantasy.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think it's similar to a sort of rotoscoping thing.
Very cool.
I think, and it lives, and it's the film is it's very of its time. It's very like psychedelic. It's very sort of Andy Warhol happening sort of a thing. In service to this very strange sort of maybe almost pretentious genre of film. It's a unique piece.
How did you first come across it? Do you remember the story here?
How did I first come across this movie?
Yeah.
Pete told me that we were going to put it out. Which will be the same answer for every movie. These are all Pete discoveries. I think I had heard the title. I'd maybe seen it listed on Cinemageddon when doing searches for Spanish movies, but I had never seen it and didn't know anything about it. So it was nice. The first, like most people, the first time I got to see it now was through this beautiful 5K restoration.
We're in 5K now.
Yeah, we're in 5K. And honestly, it's not even the first 5K restoration thing I've done with before. It's maybe slightly more common than people think.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, as you were saying, Macian was a really interesting animator. This was his second and final feature-length film after 1966's El Mago de los Sueños, The Magician of Dreams, which I've not seen. This is some internet research on my part, but a short career. But this concept that the film covers is kind of eerily contemporary, because this exact kind of research is actually happening right now.
Sure.
With longevity research and brain transfers and cybernetic implants. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. These are actual newspaper headlines that are going on. So I'm really fascinated at the idea that this 50-year-old movie kind of been playing with these ideas already.
And there's sort of there's some like psychedelic hallucinogenic drug stuff going on in the movie, which would have been very much of its time, in the late 60s, early 70s, but is sort of contemporary again, because that's something that's people are more open to nowadays, with psychedelic therapy and things like that. It has this weird eye to the future that is unusual. Yeah.
It is, it's amazing, the mainstreaming of psychedelic treatments with writers like Michael Pollan. I mean, hell, even Bill Burr is telling me to take mushrooms at this point.
And Joe Rogan, the great sage of our time. But
the one thing that all political spectrum agree on is psychedelics.
All started by Macian. He called it.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so this is really fascinating. So some kind of a sort of like rotoscope animation system combined with live action. This looks like a really fascinating film.
Just visually, the movie, if nothing else, the movie is really compelling visually. Very much worthwhile. If you partake, get really stoned and watch it, it'll be interesting.
I like that y'all were able to get, obviously the director's daughter is cool to get his daughter on here to talk about the movie, but I like that y'all are able to get Angel Sala as well from Sitges. I've only heard Angel speak a few times, but it's always really insightful. That he's a very sharp, analyst, I guess, on film, or historian.
Yeah, he's got a lot of insight on just the Spanish film industry, particularly genre film. He's someone I think we've had him on a few releases now, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be on more.
Good.
Good guy.
How is it? I mean, I don't know how specific you want to get, but generally, how is this initial sale going for y'all? Are you happy with the initial response this first couple of days?
Yeah. I guess this is sort of unusual. Usually we put these out right ahead of the sale, but it's already up and going. I was sort of late in initiating this. No, it's going all right. It's been on sale for like 3 days now. We're about, I think, 80% sold out on Memoria, which is pretty good. And it's the best selling of the three. So the other one is probably up to about 73 to 70%, the other two. So, pretty good. Only a limited edition of 1,000, so it's not like a ton of copies have sold yet. But we're happy with where this is.
Well, and as we were mentioning from the outset, the sort of value these films have to students of film, just people interested in film history. These extra features look really substantive. The aforementioned interviews Chris pointed out, as well as these the booklet essay by Ishmael Fernandez and the interview with the film historian Jordi Artigas. Looks like this will give us a lot of context for it.
Yeah. Again, I'll big up Ismail's notes. I've talked about him before.
Yeah.
When we've talked about his work, when that's come up. But he, like, Ed is one. If there's a reason to get a limited edition that we do, it's when it has his liner notes in the booklet. No one knows more about the ins and outs of Spanish film history than Ismail. Yeah, it's very comprehensive, and everything you want to know about the director and his work in animation and everything about that. Yeah, it's all in there.
Really
great.
Cool. And the cover art too, for those who are most concerned with how things look on the shelf. quite psychedelic itself, and this is
Justin Coffey did the artwork, the new artwork for us, and was very much inspired by a lot of the psychedelic stuff, a lot of the animation techniques that are used in the movie. He sort of was inspired by that for his art.
Cool.
Yeah,
man, it was awesome. We I don't know if there's anything else you want to say on that, but I'm super excited to talk about the next one. Is there anything else that you want to make sure people know about our friend Macian?
No, I mean, it's not something I know. I don't know personally much about him. I didn't really know anything about his work until I read Ismail's liner notes for this. But I think the movie is really cool. And I think if you like any of our European stuff, you're gonna find something to enjoy with this one for sure.
I'm already interested in checking out The Magician of Dreams too, if we can.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
Very cool.
There's future Mondo title incoming. Well, if we go back to 1958 for just a moment, there is a guy named there's a guy named Jacques Baratier. Baratier, I think is how you say his name.
Baratier,
good enough for me. Sounds good to me.
Baratier. 1958, he wins the jury prize at Cannes for his movie called Goha. Has quite a long career in France, working across different styles of movies, and is a screenwriter and a director, and then go all the way to 1984, I believe, and makes a movie that is probably extremely underseen. At the moment, only 100 views on Letterboxd, which is awesome. I can't wait for this to get some more eyes on it. The Satin Spider.
Yeah, French movie from the 80s. Yeah, this is my favorite of the ones. As will be revealed, I haven't watched the last one we're going to discuss yet. But of the two, I love Memoria is great, but I really loved The Satin Spider. Very, very peculiar atmosphere, shot on 16 millimeter. So it has and it's a beautiful restoration. So it has just this very warm, grainy, luminous glow. And it's very much in service to this very uncomfortable and unusual film that Justin, in a conversation the other day, Justin Coffey described as Jean Roland does Suspiria, which is probably overselling it a little bit, but it's set in there's like ballet. It's like there's like a ballet part of the school. Like the main teacher is a dance professor, and so there's ballet works itself into it, and a young girl who's sort of being drawn into something that she's not really too sure she wants to be drawn into. So it has that vibe, but it has there's something very ill feeling about the movie that I really enjoy. It's off kilter. It's very sort of hypnagogic, sort of waking dream state. Like it has this almost fever dream sort of feel to it. Very weird.
Well, speaking of weird, just to give people an idea of how weird it is, I want to again share one of my favorite Letterboxd synopses ever. This is great. The setting is Les Fauves School for Girls, just after World War I, where sternly Teutonic headmistress Ingrid Coven vies with Catherine Jordan, a morphine-addicted fabric fetishist gym teacher, for the sexual favors of liquid-eyed nymphette Siluna. Meanwhile, the chaplain conducts a nude exorcism. And that's it.
That's
Sold.
all you need to know. Sold, right? Sold.
I want to give. I also want to give the cast a little bit of attention, because you mentioned Suspiria. Ingrid Coven, who was at one point married to Rainer Werner Fassbender, just played Miss Vendegast in the new Suspiria from 2018.
I didn't even put that together. Amazing.
So, Catherine Jordan was in Les Samurai. This was her Satin Spider's her last feature-length role, and Roland Topor in the cast, one of the creators of the Panic movement, along with Jodorowsky and Fernando Arabel, and wrote the novel The Tenant, which Roman Polanski. He also played Renfield in Nosferatu the Vampire, the Werner Herzog one. So you got quite a cast in the Satin Spider, along with Baratier as a director, who, going back to Goha, gave Claudia Cardinal her first screen role in that film. So there's so much cool trivia surrounding this filmmaker and this film. I was really excited. I encourage people also to look at the trailer that you can find on YouTube of this film. It sells itself. It's really fascinating looking.
Yeah. It's got a spooky little ambiance, the movie, and then the trailer I think does do that well. Yeah, Catherine Jordan, whatever, however you pronounce the last name. That's another. She brings up her presence brings up another sort of possible touchstone reference to help people place it in context. Is she was in Eden and After, the Alain Robbe-Grillet film. That's where I knew her from. And I think Robbe-Grillet is also sort of, if you enjoy the films of Robbe-Grillet, it's very different. It has a very different sort of setting and a vibe, but there's just this sort of weird undercurrent of dangerous sexuality to it that reminds me of Robbe-Grillet, very much so. More so, I think, than Jean Roland, which is what I mentioned before.
Well, the thing I'm most curious about, I don't know about most, but another interesting thing to me that jumped out. Did y'all see who the writer for this was? It's Catherine Briat.
Yeah.
We need to take French lessons. But that's crazy. That's fucking wild that like she was doing this before she went on to become Catherine Brillat.
I know. Yeah. It's in fact, I think we probably should have been selling that more. Putting her name on it to sell it a little bit.
Yeah, probably so.
I don't think we mentioned that in our. I should have done that. I should have put that out there. But no, I think an early. I don't know much about her career, how it developed, but obviously an early credit for her. Yeah.
This seems like it would fit with her general
totally
thematics. Now the other credited writer other than Baratier is named Slim Bachucha. And this is to paraphrase Joe Bob Briggs, this is the first in a grand total of 1 film credits Slim Bachucha had. But I'd be curious in finding out if they had anything else going on as well.
Yeah, was that? I mean, maybe that was a pen name. Maybe who would like. I'm fascinated to know more. Who was that person? Why was he called Slim? Was he a really fat guy, and that's why they called him Slim? I'm curious.
All I can say is my new online handle will be Slim Bachucha. Hopefully people will take the opportunity to research more about Catherine Brillat's involvement, but I'm really interested in the feature on here called Jacques Baratier 101, a look at the career of Baratier that kind of gets into his whole filmography. Have you seen this feature yet?
No.
All right. Well, then we're excited to see what this brings.
Discovery for all of us.
I am really selling this today. Yeah, I'm out. Yeah. Wait till we get to the next one. I have the disc. I watched the movie right when the disc was authored, but I didn't watch the actual features.
Well, it looks really cool. I'm also particularly interested in its origins, because as you note in your description, it's based on a Grand Guignol play from 1921, and the Grand Guignol Theater of Paris is kind of getting a sort of retrospective moment in the sun with David Gregory's new documentary about the Grand Guignol. I myself wrote a research piece on the history of torture in horror cinema that starts with the Grand Guignol Theater, and its focus on naturalism and physical violence as symbolic of the human condition and whatnot. So, as far as the elements of violence and eroticism in this film, for those of us who might be interested in such content, what would you say the vibe is for this?
Yeah, it's not, when someone describes this as being based on a Grand Guignol play, you might expect it to be kind of gory or there to be lots of overt violence, and honestly, there isn't. There's more like just an implied threat throughout. There's like a male character in it who, every time he shows up, there is sort of this very kind of gross sense of predatoriness, to it. Especially because, there's a sort of girl school thing, and he's sort of an authority figure. And so there is this sort of implied violence. And then there's the church, and there's the churchman and the exorcist scene that happens at the end. Nothing is extremely graphic that happens in this film. A lot of it is implied, or it's just, like I said, sort of the unhealthy atmosphere that sort of permeates the whole thing. It just feels like there's something wrong, going on. And, if you're like me, that's a good time. You enjoy being made to feel, share in the misery of the world. I love that person.
I love unhealthy atmospheres. That's my whole thing. So fantastic. This was the one film I had heard of but haven't seen, so I'm really excited about it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and again, great art by Justin Coffey for this one. I think this is my favorite of his three. He did art for all three of these releases. He did the main cover for it. Really, really lovely work.
We always talked about, as long as we've been promoting Mondo Macabro, both on the podcast and just in any kind of Discord, we always talk about how there's this exciting kind of fan base you built where they just trust you. Like whatever journeys you're going on to bring people new ideas, they trust you and they'll support you. And I think that's exceptionally true for this next movie, which I imagine a lot of us don't have a lot of background on, but I cannot wait to see. So, landlocked country in between Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan and China is a country called Uzbekistan. And they don't have a rich cinema history in the sense of a lot of foreign, festival wins and a lot of cons wins, but people might be surprised they have a long-standing film history. And there have been filmmakers that come out of there. And in 1998, or I think it's 1998, there's a filmmaker who, by the name of Ali Kamrev, who made a movie called Bo Babu. And this is the third one coming out from y'all this month, right?
Yeah. Our first Central Asian film. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not the last. You never know. This was. Go ahead. What?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say another great Letterboxd synopsis.
Oh, okay.
Two barbarians in the desert find a stranded white woman and regard her as their property. Turnabout is fair play as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so, although I think maybe this isn't quite as exploitative as it makes it sound. Although from what I should say, if it wasn't clear, I made it the point before. I have not actually seen Bo Babu yet. So I'm kind of flying a little blind, just like I'm guessing Chris and Will, you guys have not seen the film either previously. No. Yeah, so we're all sort of flying blind. So basically what I know is just impressions that I've gotten from Pete.
But it's probably worth mentioning that the title of the film is not, well, I mean, as far as I know, it's not an Uzbeki, phrase. Those are the names of the three characters, right? So
Right. Yeah. I think they, like, the father and son are Bo and Boo, and they call her Ba or something like that. Yeah. They name her that. Yeah.
The thing that really catches my attention from the description y'all gave when you wrote the copy was a dreamlike wordless fairy tale. Fascinating.
There's no lines of dialogue, I think, in the film. Yeah.
Crazy.
Other than like grunts and stuff. Yeah. Similar to Human Animals that we did some years ago, the Spanish film. And it has a similar sort of feel. There's a sort of triangular sort of thing going on in that movie too, I think, as I recall. So sort of similar vibe to that, but different time, different place, different kind of director, all that kind of stuff, different intent. So yeah. This movie came to us from Daniel Bird, who I'm really excited to be working with on this.
Oh, very cool.
Do you guys know who he is? He's he did a lot to champion Andrzej Żuławski and Valerian Borovchik, and Alexei German, director of Hard to Be a God. He has been a big time champion of a lot of those and other sort of directors from the Soviet era and the post-Soviet era. And a lot of the work he's done in the last decade or so has been with working on films from the Caucasus and from Central Asia. And so that's how that came to me. He, as far as I know, he brought the movie to us, said, "Hey, this is getting restored. Here are the rights," and Pete went for it. And I love Daniel's work. I think he's great. He's a great writer, and he contributed excellent liner notes and a commentary to this release. Which
great!
Price of admission alone, as far as I'm.
Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Ali Kamarev is probably best known for a film he did in the mid-'70s called Man Follows Birds. And he comes from the Soviet poetic realism tradition. And some have compared him to Sergei Parajanov and people like that. So this is a really exciting release to jump into blind. I'm glad we're going to get a knowledgeable commentary, because Uzbeki cinema is about as obscure, especially to Westerners, as any cinema could be.
Yeah. And Kamarev was a very versatile director too. Like Parajanov, I mean, at a certain point, Parajanov just couldn't do much of anything because he was in jail for a long time. But Parajanov mostly did from Color of Pomegranates on, the things that he did were all very, very much rooted in that poetic style. Kamarev also made westerns. He made Soviet westerns, essentially, set in central. I think they're usually set in Central Asia around the time of the Russian Civil War in the late 19-teens and early 1920s.
But that's perfect. And there's a desert in Uzbekistan, I believe.
It is sort of a deserty country. Not completely desert, I don't think, but yeah. And I think the milieu of this particular film, the sort of geographic milieu, is going to be that sort of dusty, dry, barren sort of landscape. Always very visually compelling to me.
It's amazing to me, some of these people that Mondo Macabro finds, because Kamarev he was making movies since 1962, 64, something like. I mean, the guy's had an entire career. Was a legitimate filmmaker. It's not like this is a one-off thing, and he's probably. I just can't wait to see it, and hopefully, more people start to discover more of his work.
Oh, you're not going to believe this. I brought up Parajanov just because I'd always seen their names put together. In 2025, Komarev completed a documentary, The Lilac Wind of Parajanov. So,
oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah.
So there's
a
something
documentary about Parajanov.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I guess that connection is a little bit closer than I even realized. And then, of course, since we are Western viewers, many of us will recognize the white woman, Ariel Dombassi, who was in Eric Romer's Pauline on the Beach. She had a small role in The Holy Mountain.
Awesome.
And apparently she was also in an episode of Miami Vice. So we're going to look for that.
And looking at her Letterboxd credits, she's in the Charlie XCX movie, The Moment.
Oh, shit. Okay, great. We gotta track this woman down. And apparently she's also a director.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Internet.
Yeah. I think this was a French co-production, so I think that's probably how she was drafted in.
Very cool.
So this movie was made in the 90s, so post-Soviet era, when there were more co-productions than like in the Soviet era, when there were very few co-productions outside
and
Soviet system.
And we should emphasize this is a comedy. Right?
I mean, maybe. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
It's pitched as a comedy. Yeah,
it is. It's a wacky romantic comedy where they find a white woman in the desert and take her captive and share her between the five.
Women in slavery is hilarious.
It is really ripe topic for comedy, especially nowadays in this day and age. People love to laugh about that stuff.
Well, exciting 3 releases you have coming out this week.
Yeah, we're really selling them out there. Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, I mean, I think these are all like really interesting and weird movies. And you know what? No one else has done that. No one else has put these out before. These are all like worldwide disc premieres. It's never been released anywhere, any of them. So that is, I think, worthwhile. And that's always exciting for me when we get to do that stuff. That's what we're here to do. We don't always do that. We do sometimes do stuff that's been done before.
Fantastic.
What's next for y'all, Jared?
Retirement. I don't know.
Great. This is it. This is the last month.
I've made so much money off of Bo Babu. I can buy that yacht and just sail around the world. No, we're right back at it. Pete is working on stuff right now. We've got the Black Magic with Buddha thing that, I've been talking about that for like 2 years now or something. It's the restoration. You guys wouldn't believe the amount of work that's gone into this restoration. We're sort of on the outside looking in. It's been going on in France. But it's I've seen early examples of it, and it's fantastic looking. And the movie itself is, I mean, if you like the wild black magic Hong Kong movies, it's not quite as level of Boxer's Omen, but or Seeding of a Ghost. But if you got, if anybody likes that kind of stuff, you need Black Magic with Buddha. Really fantastic, just wild, crazy stuff. Yeah,
amazing.
Have either one of you guys ever seen that one before?
That's on the wish list for me. So
it's a lot of fun. Yeah, like I say, not necessarily the top of the tier of that genre, but it's really cool. It's really like super low budget, and you can tell they're putting all their meager resources up on the screen. I'm really excited. It's something I've wanted to do for many, many years. So that should be next. That should be for the Halloween sale. That should be like the big sort of banner title.
Well, speaking of the Halloween sale, we're here in early August, but that means October is fast approaching. So what else can you tell us about that annual extravaganza?
You'll get them in sometime in 2028.
Just getting ahead of that.
just putting it out there, like I'm managing people's expectations. So if it comes out actually at the end of 2026, everyone will think it's a miracle.
Whoa.
we're working on trying. I mean, I make that joke for I'm sure everyone who's listening knows that why I'm making that joke is that we're sort of legendarily late with all our Halloween sale releases, which we hate more than people who are buying them do. Trust me, it's a huge source of frustration for us. So what we're going to try and get these out for this year. Actually ship in 2026. So that is the goal. Not even put it off, even if that means I'm shipping out in December, which is a terrible time to ship out stuff. But what do you know, if we have to do it, we have to do it. So some things that we're doing that to make that happen, we might do less stuff this year. It may be only 3 titles this year. One of those will probably be a double feature. So there's that. And then another thing. So we had a couple of other projects, including the Hong Kong movie House of the Loot, which I've been talking about since last year. That's probably not going to come till 2027, early in the year. Working on it now, want to give it a little bit more time to get it right. So it'll probably be the Black Magic with Buddha, plus another Asian film, another really wild Asian film from the 70s that is sort of horror related. But that's about all I'll say at this time. And then the other project, hopefully, crossing your fingers, it's another big thing, another big restoration project that's going on. And it will be UHD. Black Magic with Buddha should be UHD, by the way. And so this other thing will be UHD releases of a European project that's goes back to before Mondo Macabro existed, as far as something that Pete has wanted to do.
Oh wow!
You know, I think we remember, Chris. We talked about the PPP, Pete's PP, Pete's Passion Projects. We've talked about that on a previous episode. This is the ultimate Pete's PP.
Wow.
So it's something he's wanted to do for a long time. French films, one of the films in particular, is something that's just been on his list forever. And he's been working on it for 20 plus years now. And so finally, it should be coming out. So that's all I'll say right now. Although if anyone has really been paying attention to things, you can probably figure out what they are. But the final announcement won't be till right before the sale happens. So just in case we can't do them.
Do you know when the sale's supposed to happen?
What's that?
When is the sale supposed to start?
I don't have the exact dates yet because I'll make that decision much closer to the thing, probably in October, but it'll be in October. Some mid to late October at some point. We'll see how it shakes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely be, we'll plan to get on and talk about everything. I know, at least as far as I'm concerned, when anybody asks me if I'm down with PPP, I always say, yeah, you know me. This is exciting. Exciting tease is what this is.
Yeah. Thank you for making that reference. That tied everything up in a nice neat little. Yeah.
It's only 40 years old at this point.
Oh my God, is it? Jesus.
30 years
I
old.
thought I was hip with the kids for knowing what you were talking about. I watched the TikToks. They like them.
It's all coming back now.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Jared, is there anything else you want to tease or let people know about before we talk to you again?
I mean, not really. Halloween sale coming up. If anyone has heard this and hasn't gone and bought the 3 new titles, and if we talked the meager amount of information that I gave you about each one, if that sounds interesting, please give it a shot. The bundle, I'm going to keep the bundle alive for a while. It's pretty cheap. It's $75, so $25 for each one.
Yep.
So, it's not a bad price for movies on Blu-ray. So limited editions, booklets. There's some art cards with Memoria. So they're nice little editions in the red case. Other than that, Halloween sale coming up. We have plans for next year too. We have, like I say, House of the Loot Really excited about that one. That's one of my sort of passion projects for the year. And Living Corpse and Hell's Ground. I mentioned those at some point as being maybe for Halloween sale this year. Halloween sale next year. So the sort of the 60s Pakistani Dracula movie hopefully will be upgraded to Blu-ray finally.
Hell yeah.
On Hell's Ground, which is the first Mondo Macabro original production. Yeah. And finally is coming back home. Someone else had the rights for years. So that should be next Halloween, not this Halloween, but I think that's it. I mean, we have, got good stuff. We're trying to get more good stuff. Just doing what we do.
So can I ask one very vague, because I don't want to put you in a position where you actually have to talk about a specific title, but okay. I have a couple of Mondo Macabro titles that still are DVD only, and many of which are out of print, as we talked about earlier in this podcast. Yeah. Yes or no? Are there any plans or possibilities to bring any more out of print titles into high definition?
Yeah, there are. I mean, we're working on some stuff. And I'll be vague too. I won't reveal anything right now, but yeah, for sure.
Good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, and there's stuff that the one thing that I can sort of talk about just because I have before, and because there currently are no plans, but Lady Terminator, we have actively been working on that. There's just a huge issue. There's just a big problem. We have the rights cleared if that problem ever gets solved. But for now, essentially the issue is no one knows where the negative is. So I would look under a situation. So it's gone.
I would look deep under the sea. I would look deep under the sea.
Yes, the Queen of the South Seas is holding it in her underwater lair. Chris, I think we need you to swim under.
I'm ready. Anything for the cause. Was it Bat Pussy that was found in a gas station? What's the one that was found in like a? This reel is out there somewhere.
We have sort of suspicions about what is going on. That it might just be someone either looking for it under the wrong title or something, or just it's there where it's supposed to be, but somebody is just not looking in the right place or whatever. We think that is still a possibility, and not that it's been destroyed or has just, gone missing completely. There is a trail that leads to somewhere of it, and then in that trail then goes cold. So what we're hoping is that will get picked up again and we'll be able to do it. Probably at this point, I probably get asked more about it than Alucarda. Maybe not, actually, but everyone wants Alucarda. But Lady Terminator is probably number 2 with a bullet, right? And so we will do it someday, hopefully. We're trying.
Funny enough, neither of those are the ones that I'm hoping for. So, although I'm hoping for those 2 as well, but the one I want the most.
Hopefully will be easier. You can ask me off air. Maybe.
We'll stop recording.
You don't have to tell me. Well, that does, I think, bring us to the end of the conversation this time. Jared, thanks so much for your time and giving us all these insights or candid admissions of ignorance.
Yes, yeah. I feel it's good to be completely honest. I wouldn't want to bullshit you. Bobop, it was like the best movie I've ever seen. No, I'm not gonna do that. But
can I leave a postscript real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to encourage people to take a chance on Apocalypse After and Eva Man and Girl Slaves of Morgana Le Fay and I Hate My Body and Blood Rose. I just want to say that at the end here.
So I can tell you, like right now, as of right this moment, I have 44 copies of Apocalypse After left.
Okay.
Only 44 copies.
Let's
so considering how long I've been sitting on those fucking Blu-rays, that it feels like a miracle to only have that left. And when it's gone, baby, it's gone. So if somebody else wants to do it, they're welcome to it. Great released, fantastic release. But I've had it for so long now. So somebody please come and buy these.
The fact that people just aren't talking about Mandico more as one of the greatest filmmakers working today blows my mind. Everything he's done is freaking amazing. So
yeah. This will be something that when it goes out of print, I will be asked about for years to come, and people will be like, "Why? Can you bring that back? I missed it. It sold out. I missed it. It was only on sale for like 8 years."
And the fact that you released a Blu-ray with vulva on the cover and it didn't pull out immediately will always blow my mind. Like that's out there on your website and people aren't buying it. Like what else do you need?
And somehow PayPal still lets us, knock on wood, PayPal still lets us use their system. Yeah, and if you can believe that's not sold out either, even though we have a vulva on the cover.
That's what else do you need?
Yeah.
Well, since we're going to mention favorite ones to plug, and we all know how dangerous vulvas can be, I want to plug Succubus. That's my.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite Mondo film of the last couple of years. So.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that's a under the radar one for sure. I don't see enough people talking about it. It's weird, man. It's another one. It's very, very different than the Satin Spider, but it's also one that just has this weird, uncomfortable air to it. The whole time you're seeing it. Yeah. Well, good choice. Yeah, that's an unusual one.
Well, anybody that gives you a problem, you can always send them our way, Jared. We'll correct them.
Yes. Yeah. I'm sure. My enforcer squad now. Yeah.
Well, from one unusual title to the next, that's one thing you can be sure will be a big part of our conversations to come. So,
I think so.
Again, thanks, Jared. Thanks, Chris. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Hello, filthy movie lovers. My name is Gentry Austin.
And I'm Casey Scott.
And we're the hosts of the Sin Syndicate, film podcast for something weirdos, anti-criterion bros, and Joseph Sarno aficionados. Join us semi-weekly as we peer into the adults-only theaters and sticky-floored cinemas of the golden age of sexploitation, when the morals were loose, the laws were murky, and the intercourse was all simulated. Find us now on the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hi, this is Tony Meaches.
Hi, and this is John Matthews.
And we are the co-hosts of the podcast Imprintcast, the podcast dedicated to the Australian boutique label Imprint Films.
Yes, if you want to know everything related to imprint or in the imprint world, this is the podcast for you as we cover announcements and also upcoming releases from the imprint lineup.
Yes, and we are not the only hosts on this show. We also have family members. They include Suzanne Boleyn, Paul Berryman, Jim Mulvihill, as well as Ryan Kendall.
Also joining us are content creators who contribute to the imprint releases, doing commentaries, essays. They're actually on the show discussing the releases they worked on via deep dive episodes covering various titles.
You can also watch our videos on certain episodes with the content creators as well as us, as well as the family members. And of course, you can always listen to this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast and our YouTube channel, Imprintcast.
And don't forget, Imprintcast is a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Thank you for listening. To hear more shows from the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, please select the link in the description